a 2018 case, aggravated assault, second-degree felony, a 2019 case, and that involved domestic violence, and then in this 2019 case, assault by a prisoner, 2021 case, also assault by a prisoner. These are things that have been discussed with you previously. And these are the things that are holding you. Obviously, as has been indicated to you before, that's something where it, obviously that's concerning to the Board of Pardons that a prisoner is continuing to commit violent felonies while inside the prison. And those are things that have been observed and have been seen. You were here before me, in fact, the Board of Pardons last year. The request was that you try to work towards general population housing, complete residential substance abuse treatment, obtain evaluations or a psychological review, get an updated LSR&R, and these things. And also, maybe even most importantly, to remain free of disciplinary violations. Because while you've been in prison and you were booked in 2019, you've received multiple disciplinary issues. However, there's a bright side to this story. Sure. Which is the last one was in June of 2022, and the last fight is coming up on 3 years. Okay. And so there's obviously been some modification of behavior, which is the greatest thing you could have done, frankly, because all of that's within your control. We do recognize that there's a lot of things beyond your control. For example, treatment, classes, certifications, and those things. But what is certainly within your control is your behavior. And that's something that you've obviously have made great strides and great changes in that is seen, that is noted, and that is very, very, speaks very well of you. Thank you. Okay. So those are the things that we're here for. And I do understand that some of these things are beyond your control. I do want you to know, I've seen your letters that you've been writing about you wanting to go, you wanting to avail yourself of as much things as you have, and that you have certifications, to show that you've been engaged in classes and in courses and in those things, which is very, very good. Well, I do know, and I just want you to realize when it comes to the sentencing guideline date, that was back in April 17th, 2024. Obviously, there could be an upward deviation from that guideline date just based off of the pattern I've already said here. So I want you to know that that's something that's there. That's something that we consider. We do know that we're now beyond the guideline date, and we're kind of looking at the best pathway forward. But since last year, since you're before this board about 15 months ago, you've done incredibly well with lacking, any disciplinary issues, and that's the best thing you could have done, to be honest. So I wanted to kind of catch you up on all of those things. I want you to know that we are aware that you have certificates. And if you want to tell me what those are specifically, I'll just take your word for it as well. And we do have this documentation here. So why don't we just talk about that? What classes, certificates, and courses have you been able to obtain that you think have been beneficial for you?
I think the most one was anger management. That really helped me a lot. And I did domestic violence. That really helped me. And pretty much they've all helped me, and doing the programs, it made me realize that it helps me. I mean, actually doing the programs and sitting there studying the programs, and it educated me a lot to know, to think before I act. And I really like programs, to tell you the truth. I have like 10 certificates here just because I like the fact that it's educated me and it's taught me a lot. And it's made me think about what I've done, and I know I can move forward and be successful in society, and that's what I want. I've learned a lot from my mistakes, and
Good.
I don't want to come here no more, sir.
Good. We'll also talk about potential parole, but before we do that, we'll look back. I mean, obviously your parole history is not good.
No, sir.
And that's putting it mildly.
Yeah.
But it looks like you are turning a corner. I mean, based off of your own behavior, to your credit, you're taking these classes, and most importantly, you're avoiding disciplinary issues. So looking forward to a new possible parole, how is that going to look for you? And how are you going to succeed on a new parole?
Well, I want to do more programming. That they mentioned a drug program, but I'm in the antelope on my SO4. I can't go to the population due to my SO4, and there's no I got drug programming just on the tablet, but I know that's not enough. So, and I think Odyssey House emailed you and said I was accepted. And I don't know if you guys got that letter or what, but I mean, I'm willing to do that, or, you know, the drug program I'm supposed to do, whatever drug program that's available, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it. And
You obviously know that's going to be a key requirement of parole.
Yes, sir.
I mean, obviously, there's these drug issues that are just there, and an aggressive and determined approach to it to kind of root this stuff out to the best of your ability is going to be a requirement. Then from there, where do you plan to live?
My sister's.
And I think you wrote she lives in Oklahoma or something.
No, she moved back. She lives back here in Salt Lake now.
Okay, so plan to live with her, and you'd have a place to live there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And how about for a job?
Anything I could find.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Ortiz, I'm gonna let you know that we've seen these things, we've observed these things, like, you've done the best, that thing that you could have done since last that you've been here, which is like you've remained discipline free. I mean, prior to that moment, I mean, there was just, I think, 16 between 2019 and 2022 incidents. Now between 2022 and now 2024, 0. And then coming up on September of this year will be 3 years since that last fight here. So obviously that's indicating that, okay, you're taking these things seriously. You're at least, taking these classes, adopting these treatments and these patterns and these new ways and these new approaches, which is very, very good. And so the best thing that you can do right now is to do what you're doing. So avoid disciplinary issues. Okay. It's obviously the best thing you can do. Continue to do these classes and whatnot. Avail yourself as much as you can. I think it's a very, very good possibility, although we could hold you till 2038. We are past the guidelines here, and that you have shown by your own behavior that you are turning a corner and that you deserve another chance at parole.
Thank you.
Okay. You know how easy it is to get back here in prison.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So continue on this behavior. Avail yourself of these classes, of this treatment. Okay. Move forward in your life. You are 45 years old.
Yes, sir.
I can't tell you how many people in their 40s that are inmates that have just finally just decided, like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you just get tired of it. I think that you're getting to that point.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
All right. Okay. So, Mr. Ortiz, I told you at the beginning that if there's anything that you feel like we haven't covered, we would cover. I do feel like we've covered it all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I do too. So you will receive something in writing in the next 2 to 4 weeks. Continue on this good path that you're on. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. All the best to you.
Okay, you have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
And they granted parole as of 7/9/2024. And yes, I said 2024 because what I'm doing is I'm going back into the archives of Utah parole hearings. We have literally hundreds that we've recorded but have not gone over. And I don't know if you're familiar, but Utah has recently, or because of us, they changed their laws and they said you can't record parole hearings anymore, and they blocked us. So, that's why you haven't seen new hearings, but we have, like I said, hundreds. So what I'm doing is going through the archives, through Sir Richard's spreadsheet, and seeing not only if they're paroled, but if they are still out. And interestingly enough, this man is still out. He has not been rearrested. He is still out on parole. I don't see any additional felonies or arrests, I should say, in his record. So yeah, he's under supervised release. And frankly, I'm surprised by that. I didn't think you would make it. And that's because we just seen so many hearings where it kind of plays out like this, but then they quickly get revoked. They go back into their old ways. But maybe this parole board interviewer was onto something, because he did seem to be quite congratulatory and was impressed by having no fighting write-ups for 3 years. And maybe he had at the age of 46 changed or turned the corner. But let me know if you want to see more Utah hearings, because like I said, I have hundreds that I can cover. And that's with that exaggeration. Might even be 1,000. So with that, I'll let you go.